All right, quick video of what I've learned so far for tonight on our assembly. If I sound a little discouraged, I kind of am. So what we found is the alternator that I had here was a 3-wire alternator. That's the traditional style that you would wire from that to a voltage regulator. This harness needs a 1-wire internally regulated alternator. So I got to go get and source one of those in and re-bolt it up. Then the wiring is really simple. These two go to the battery terminal, and it's done. It's wired. It's good to go. So we've got battery cables made. This is the one. Negative goes down to the engine block bolt. We've got the positive that goes over to the solenoid. I will get some red electrical tape to wrap this in down to about here so that this is noted to go on the positive on the red side, just so that there's no confusion, especially with this red wire going to be sitting right here. You might think, you know, this might be the red side. Well, no, it's not. This is the red side over here where that one's going to go. I need to take some of the same cable here and make my starter cable. So what I'm using for this, and this worked out really well, is #1 welding cable from a welding supply shop here in town. You can see #1 welding cable, 600 volt, and these copper fittings, the copper end fittings that you can see down there crimped onto there, and up here onto that one for the #1 to a 3/8 stud. Those worked really well, and it feels the same weight. This was the old one that was on it. It feels the same weight per foot as what this old one was. I just wanted to replace it with newer stuff as I'm replacing. So that's the right stuff to use, and you can get it by the foot at a local welding supply shop. My auto parts store they wanted to sell a 50-foot roll of it, which that's what they source. So they actually advised I go talk to the welding supply shop. So we've got our the wiring harness. This American Auto wire harness has the oil pressure sender routed to the battery and the solenoid side of the motor, which is wrong. I had to split all of the zip ties that were underneath my tubing, pull it all out, split it, that came from the factory, just like this one. This one came from the factory zip tied. I've not zip tied any of my wires. I had to split all of them back and pull it back because it really needs to come out and come down this side and route over here with the oil pressure warning light that's right here. So something to think about, and another criticism of this harness. I mean, there's a couple of things on this harness that I really don't like. So again, on this harness, there's a couple of things that I don't like that aren't included with it. So one, there isn't a single wire for a washer fluid motor and pump and you know, switch and stuff like that. I know that wasn't necessarily something that every single truck always had and was working, but it's on most of the ones that I'm seeing. So there's no wire for a washer fluid pump and bottle with this kit. There's no ammeter support, and you get either the oil pressure light or you use that wire for the gauge. This harness doesn't have both. So if you do like what I'm doing, you're salvaging the oil pressure light wire off of the old harness. So if yours was in good enough shape, or you didn't cut it all to ribbons as you were ripping it out, good for you. Otherwise, you're inventing it. There is no ammeter support. So this is a custom cab camper special. Fairly common set of options on this truck. It's not... you can find bunches of them. They sold thousands of them. I'm really surprised they don't have something for that in this wiring harness. Because of that, I don't know if I would recommend someone moving to this harness. Again, I bought it through Dennis Carpenter, reputable supplier. It was north of $600. It doesn't have the adapter for emergency flashers, So if your truck has an emergency flasher, even if it's from the factory, you've got to buy another part. Got to buy another part. Really? Come on. And there's just every time I turn around, it seems there's another thing that you need to buy another part from us according to the instructions to get it to adapt up. So I mean, it's gone in pretty well. The proof will be when the first time we put a battery to it, fill it with fluids, and try and crank the sucker. But for right now, man, I don't know. It's got a whole lot of stuff that I don't need. That's automatically wired into it. It's got a vehicle speed sensor set up for an electronic speedometer unit. It's got an electric fan wire. It's got a coil wired up for a tachometer. It's got an electric choke wire. That's all in the kit. It's all in the harness. It's great. None of that was factory. Not a lick of it. None of it is on these trucks unless somebody is changing it out and resto modding it. If someone's doing that, you need all of that. If you're trying to rewire with a Crown Vic front end and a Coyote motor, you need all of it. If you're just trying to go back stock, maybe this harness isn't for you. I'm just saying, there may be others out there. If one of my 19 subscribers or one of the viewers, if you know of the right one for this, if you know of the way that I should have gone instead of the American Auto Wire replacement harness from Dennis Carpenter, please, let's start the discussion and let's figure this out, because I don't know. I've got 3/4 of one of these sitting in the back right there. All I need is that one. I could do a Crown Vic front end swap on it. It doesn't have a front end. I'd need to get inner fenders, hood, outer fenders, and a Crown Vic front end and a motor, and we'd be good to go. It's got everything else in it. I think I might need a rear end too, for that matter. But that can all be had, and I could have another one of these trucks that I could fix up and run. So who knows? Maybe I would want to do that and have something to do and sell that one off. But if I'm going to do that, I need to figure out what the right damn harness is, because this one maybe isn't it. So, sorry. A little frustrated tonight. If you're frustrated, let me know. Wish me luck on my projects and good luck on yours.